Hi friends, my name is Aqil Ahmed, and in this particular video tutorial I will show you how to import the files from a folder in the date order and get the date from the file name using SSIS. So the agenda of today's video tutorial is that we will try to import some CSV files in the date order using SSIS, and the date is already present in the file name, and we will get the date from the file name itself. So instead of getting the date from either like from the file create date or file modify date, we will get the date from the file name itself. And in this video I will show you like how you can import the CSV files, but you can use the same approach on some other type of files as well, like for Excel files as well you can use the same approach as well. So without wasting further time, let's jump to the demo. In my D files location I got few files like emails underscore 2023 0105, then 0120, and then 0128. So I got three files here. Okay, so the file date structure is this one, YYYYMMDD, but sometimes it can be different, like MM-DD-YYYY, or the date can be in some other format as well. So we just need to parse the date correctly from the file name and need to parse it to a function, date parse function, and it can convert to a date time. So in your case, if the format of the date is this format, then you don't need to make any changes in the code. You can use the existing code. But in case if the format of the date is a bit different, then you can easily get the date. Like even you can message me that my date format is this one, so like how I can actually convert it to the proper date. So let me first show you the code that I already have. So what I thought is that what I can do, I can actually create a table, file info table I can create, and it will contain three columns right now: ID, int identity, and then the file path, like which file is going to be loaded, and the file date. So this file date, this will actually hold the date from this particular file name, like this one 2023 1st January, 2023 20th January. Okay, so the date from this particular file name, it will be extracted and it will be actually inserted to this particular table, file info table. So as soon as this particular table is populated with all the files those we have in this particular folder, and we have the correct value for the file date, and because this is the date data type, so we can easily order the files in the specific format. Like if you want to import the files in the ascending date, then we can use like order by file date. If you want to import the files in the descending order, so you can also do the order by file date, DESC. Okay, so I will show you. So the most important part of this video will be like how we can populate the data to this file info table, because as soon as the data will be imported here, then we can get the data in the any order. Okay, so I actually written some C# code which can actually loop through all the CSV files in this particular location, and then it can extract the date from the file name and can insert into a SQL Server table, file info table. Okay, and then we can create the SSIS package to loop through the files and load them, and then we can write the code to read the files from this particular table in a specific order and can load them. So let's see the C# code which can actually loop through all the files and can populate the file name along with the date into the file info table. Okay, so this is just few lines of code that you can easily use it, and you can change a bit if required. Okay, and then this should work. So we have declared two variables. This is the log folder, so you need to provide your location, the location on your machine in which you want to create the log in case the process fails. So I want to create the logs to this particular location in case my script task fails. Okay, so you need to just provide some path here. Okay, and then in this particular location you need to just provide your source folder path, like to which location you want to loop through the file. So my files are situated, the CSV files are situated in D files location. All the CSV files are here, so that's why I have provided this location. So you just need to provide the location here. You can also do that, you can also pass this value from the SSIS variable as well. Okay, for example, let me call it as like source directory equal to, okay, and then I can actually copy this one and paste it here. Okay, and then I can use the source directory here. So now what you need to do, you just need to pass the SSIS variable value here. Okay, so now it looks better. So what we are doing at this particular line, that we are getting all the CSV files from this particular folder and getting the files information into the files string array. Okay, and then this is my SQL Server instance name, Okay, so you need to provide your SQL Server instance name here, and then this is my database name, training, and in the training database I got the this table, file info table. So I will share the create table statement for the file info, and I'm also using the audit log table. So the audit log table will be used to know like how many records are actually loaded from a file and which file got loaded, so that you can also check the order as well, like in which order actually the files are being imported. Okay, and we will be importing the data to the email table. So I will share the create table statement for all the files, but first of all we need to insert the files in an order into the file info table. Okay, so this is the file info table. So this is my connection string. Now we are creating a connection and assigning the connection string to this one, opening the connection. Now what we are doing here, this is one of the most important part of this particular code, that we are just looping through all the files from this folder, all CSV files. Okay, the format of my file is this one, emails underscore yyyymmdd.csv. So what I'm doing here, that in this line I'm just getting the file name without extension. So this will give me only this value, emails underscore this one. Okay, now what I'm doing in this particular line, that I'm getting the right 8 digit from this particular file name. So at this line I'm getting the right 8 digit. Okay, so this will give me this value like 2023-0105 or whatever will be the date. Now in this particular line I'm actually parsing this particular value, the string value I'm parsing using the date time dot parse exact, and in this format I'm parsing, and then it is converting this value, this string value, into a date time value. Okay, so this is the most important part, these two lines. So in your case, if the date is in another format, so in this particular line you need to extract that date, accordingly, like whatever is the date, you need to provide the proper length here. If it is in the last one, sometimes the date can be in middle of the file. So you can also take the help from the ChatGPT, that give the complete file name to the ChatGPT and ask him that this is my file name and I want to subtract the date, and ask him that I want this date, so how I can get the date from this file name using the C#. So it will show you how you can get the file date from the file name. And still, in case if you are getting some issues, so you can comment on this particular video, and maybe I can share the the script, like how you can get the date. So in this particular example, these two lines, they are actually doing the thing that they are getting the date from here, from the file name, and then converting the date into the date time. Now we are inserting a record into the file info table, the the file path and the date. Okay, and then execute non-query. So this code will run for all the files, and this, after the execution of this code or this table, file info table, it should contain the data for all the files along with the file date, and then we can import the files in a specific order. Okay, so I think let's start the writing the code. So first of all, what we can do, we can actually copy this particular code, whatever code it is. So we can copy it and we can use this particular code inside the script task. So right click and copy this one, open the SSIS package. So first of all we need to use the script task. So I can just drag and drop the script task, and I can call the script task like insert file name into file info. Okay, and then I can right click on it and I can click edit. Now I can click on edit script. Now I can close this one so that I can take a closer look at the code, and I can close this one as well. So I need to paste my code here. Okay, so the code has been pasted, so just wait for a few seconds. Okay, so some errors came. It is missing system.io, the directory class, system.io. okay, so it will clear some errors. Okay, SQL connection, SQL.data, SQL client. Okay, culture info. So let's see what it is missing, system.globalization. Okay, so all the errors are gone now, so we are good here. Okay, so I can close this one, click OK. This will save the code inside the script task. So this will populate the data to the file info table. Okay, so but before executing this code, we actually need to truncate the file info table as well, otherwise it will have the old data. So we can say it like clean file info. Okay, and I can right click, edit. From the connection, I need to create a connection to the testing database. I think I already have a connection that I can use here. Yeah, training database, and I can paste like a truncate table file info. Okay, okay. So first the table will be truncated, then the data will be inserted to the file info table. Okay, so this is fine so far. So for example, if I just execute this particular code right now, so this particular code should insert the file details into the SQL Server table. So if I select the data now, so you can see that this inserted the data, this is the file path and this is the date. Okay, so now I can actually select the data, I can actually get the file path and then the file date. I can select it using any order, like either in the ascending order or in the descending order, like whatever order you want. Okay, so this is how I can get it. So now because now the data is inside the SQL table, so we can use the for each loop edu enumerator to just get the files from the SQL Server table. So for that particular thing, I need to declare two variables for now. Yeah, the first variable will be the obj files. Okay, and this will be of type object, because we are going to loop through the files, loop through the rows. And then the another variable will be file path, because I'm interested in the file path only when we are looping through. So I just want the file path so that I can just get the file path value, and I can pass this value to the flat file connection manager. So the another variable will be file path and the data type will be string here. Okay, and for now I can just copy any value and paste it here. So this looks good now. Now let's create another variable, records inserted, because the thing is we also want to log the details, like what records are being inserted from each file. So I can close this one. Now the first task will be the execute SQL task, where we will actually get the files to be loaded, get files to be loaded. Okay, in a specific order. So I can right click here, click edit. From the collection I can select the SQL connection, and then I can actually copy this particular query, paste the query here, click OK. The result set will be full result set because it is returning multiple rows. I can give the result set name to 0, and we will select the obj files variable from here. So this is okay. Now we need to use the for each loop container, and in the for each loop container we will loop through all the files and will import the files. So I can just configure the for each loop container here. From the collection we will use the edu enumerator because we want to loop through the files. Here we need to select the object variable, and here we need to use the file path variable. Click OK. Now we need to use the data flow task, and the data flow task will be used to import the data. So I can configure the data flow task. Our source is a CSV file, so that's why we will use the flat file source here. Now I can configure the flat file source. Click new to create a new flat file connection manager. Browse the file. File type is CSV, so I can select CSV from here. Select any file. If I click preview, so the data seems good here. Click OK. OK. Now we need to make this flat file connection manager dynamic, because we want to import multiple files using a single flat file connection manager. So we need to set the connection string property dynamically. So I can make the connection string dynamically using the file path variable. Click OK. OK. So we have made the flat file connection manager dynamic now. There is an FX sign before the flat file connection manager name. It means that this is a dynamic connection. To insert the data to SQL Server table, we can use the OLEDB destination, and then we can configure it. Now we can select the table, the email table to which we want to insert the data to. Click on mappings, and this seems good, so click OK. Our SSIS package is ready. If you execute this one, it can load the data, all data it can load, and it will work just great. If you want the auditing as well, if you want some plus points as well, like you want the auditing, like I want to know like when a file was loaded, how many records got loaded, which file got loaded first. If you need all those proofs, right, so we can use this insert query. So I can simply copy this query, and I can paste it inside the execute SQL task, which will be executed after importing a file. So I can call it as audit log. Okay, and I can right click on it, click edit. I can select the connection, and then under SQL statement I can paste it here. So here you need to give your package name. This is file loaded. Instead of this file path, we need to provide the question mark, because I want to pass this value from the parameter. And for the 0 value, for the records imported, I will put another question mark. So I put two question mark here. Now I will provide these value from the parameter mapping. So what I can do, I can click on add here, and the first parameter is the file path that I put the question mark for. So I will select file path from here. The data type will be varchar here because the file path is a varchar value, and the name will be 0. The index start from 0. Now I can click add again. The second parameter is the records inserted. The data type will be long and the parameter name will be 1. Okay, so these values, I can take. So I can click OK. So my SSIS package is ready. So let me execute the SSIS package and show you like how it will work. So the package ran absolutely fine. So I can go back, and first of all I can show you the data maybe in the emails table. I think earlier we did not add any data. It contains 2239 records. Now if you check the audit log table, so you can see that this is the order of the files. Like the 05 file was loaded, then 20 file was loaded, then 28 file was loaded. Okay, but in the records imported it is showing as 0 because we did not assign the value to the records imported SSIS variable. Okay, that was our fault. So let's fix it. So I truncated the table. I can also truncate the email table as well. Go back to SSIS package, go inside the data flow task, and then just remove this mapping, and we can use the row count transformation here. Now connect the OLEDB source with the row count, configure the row count, select the variable records inserted, click OK. Okay, so now this time when I will run the SSIS package, it should have the data in the records imported column. So the package ran fine. Now you can check the data again. So it contains the data 2239 records, and if you rerun the audit log, so you can see that first this file was loaded, 1000 records got inserted, then the second file got imported, then the third file got imported. Okay, and suppose if you want to import the files in the reverse order, like first you want this the oldest file loaded, then this one, then this one. So instead of using the order by file date, you can say order by file date DESC. Okay, so this way the files will be loaded in the reverse order. So in the get files to be loaded, you can paste this query, okay, and you can just rerun the SSIS package. So this time the files will be loaded in the reverse order. Okay, so I can just select the data again. So the first 3 records, they were from the older execution. Now this time the 28 file got loaded 28 January, then 20th January, then 5th January. So now the files got loaded in the reverse order. Okay, so this is one of the method like how you can actually import the files in a specific order using SSIS. And yeah, I will share most of the code with you. Yeah, maybe I can share the whole SSIS package as well with you, and I can share the create table statement for the file info, and I can also share the create table statement for the audit log as well, so that you can use it in your environment as well. Yeah, so I think that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching the video, and if you like the video, then please click the like button. Do subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and click on all so that you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much.